Greetings, I am Timaeus, researcher of alchemy. Welcome to Mondstadt. Alchemy is a craft that has been passed down since ancient. Its mechanisms are magical and mysterious. If we can get the hang of this, we should be able to create some...
This must be your alchemist's workbench.
That's right. Why not give it a go yourself? You'll be fine. The procedure's actually very simple. If you're interested, I could show you the basics.
Cool!
All we are really doing is following the methods of the ancients as best we can. Much as one who uses a wind glider needs not understand how it was built in order to glide. The difference with alchemy is that every time I think I finally understand how it's supposed to work, something totally unexpected happens.
Hey! You shall have no other Paimon before this Paimon!
Unfortunately, my skills are not that advanced. There's a lot of other mysterious recipes I have to research first. Over the course of your adventures, you should come across some alchemist notes from ancient civilizations, and as your adventure rank increases, more recipes will become available to you.
Why are you so obsessed with other Paimons?
You two are a fascinating pair, I must... Well, see you next time.
Huh. Looks like Timaeus isn't here today. Customers? Oh, pardon me. Are you looking for Timaeus? No. Just strange for him to not be around. Paimon always sees him standing here. I see. He was called away by Albedo a little while ago. I was called over to attend to the store. I'm Sucrose, Albedo's assistant. If you have any alchemy-related queries, you could always ask me. I do my best to help. Actually, I'm not very good at this kind of thing. My apologies. I don't get out too often. If you need any help, just call my name. If not, I'll be reading a book. Thanks. No worries. We're all clued up on the basics of alchemy, aren't we? Hey, aren't you the legendary traveler? The one who repelled Storm Terror? I've heard so many stories about you. Always wanted an opportunity to research you up close. What do you mean, sorry, don't mind me. Still, you'd definitely be able to help Albedo. There's that name again, Albedo! Is he also an alchemist in Mondstadt? Apologies, I never introduced him. Albedo is the Knights of Favonia's chief alchemist. He's also Timaeus in my team. But Paimon's only ever seen Timaeus teaching alchemy. Yes, he's dedicated himself to investigating the truth of this world. We often get alchemists coming to Mondstadt from all over Teyvat, seeking his help. They say that the subtlest of guidance from Mr. Albedo helps him to solve the most unfathomable of problems. Wow! Paimon didn't know he was such a big deal. Still, it seems that he's encountered a problem in his research recently. Every time I see him, he has a concerned look on his face. I'm sure that Albedo would love to hear about your incredible exploits. I know it would bring him lots of new inspiration. Albedo is a true gentleman. He'll be sure to pay you back in equal measure for helping him out. Paimon doesn't need any help in that department. But if Albedo wants to pay Paimon back for... Albedo and Timaeus will be conducting research in the mountains right now. I'd love to take you both to see him, but somebody has to attend to the store. I'm afraid you'll have to go to the entrance to the pass and look for him by yourselves. Look out for a refined gentleman with the presence of a true scholar. Sorry. That's the best I can do. You'll have to... Hey! Stop worrying! Sucrose is a whole lot less nervous once she gets talking about alchemy and research, huh? Is that what all researchers are like? Anyway, let's go and look for Albedo.
There will definitely be something that... I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
Oh, but this event has commemorative significance.
Hopes? That's odd, 'cause I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the
What do you mean?
this far out from Mondstadt at this hour? Even if you set out... who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand...
Huh? Well, that can't be.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Don't fret. Nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to... But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going.
Seems like that sister's an...
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where, and you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so...
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... So it's you, the honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the Sisters of Mondstadt have the authority to arrest...
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
My hammer.
Disappear!
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example? Let it rain.
I'll put you on
Frostbite.
Let's move.
Come a little closer.
Shouldn't get careless. Detoxifying heat. You need a Windblade!
Go, Barrett!
You're in for a little shock. Blitz. Try not to enjoy this.
Let's end this quickly! Dodge this! This is bad. I guess who's this? This is it!
colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm alright. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized. Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good look. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilichurls? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk! Let's take them out of the picture first!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilichurls unfinished.
What's up with painting hilichurls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail!
You can find these hilichurls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from afar. Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem I research.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much as...
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world. But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
It's possible. But I will do everything in my control to ensure your safety. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
has a question. After the seed sprouts, will...
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method. Not using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is... Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things fascinating. And this floating child is... connected to your body?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you. Oh, that rules out that possibility. But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springfield to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body, given that there's clearly a discrepancy in the research. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. Let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them.
Huh? Doesn't seem very...
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
Slimes! Slimes are fine!
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
You've been a naughty boy.
Disappear!
You're in for a little shock. You've been a naughty boy.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the... If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow... Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Sounds kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness.
And in the app...
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations. Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved, but if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason... Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test... It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is... I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver all going to plan. We should be able to begin concocting the...
Paimon's still still got a few safety concerns. Let's keep our eyes open.
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here. My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. A cryoregisvine, or even a whopperflower might, in that sense, things might get difficult, don't you?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world.
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting a now.
Great. I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to...
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. This potion channels elemental power into the body, but if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience moments.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. Perhaps it's just scholarly self-assurance, and it certainly speeds things up. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the... The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same, they can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an Eye of the Storm. have I explained it clearly enough? To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh, you gave me a lot to consider. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory...
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit?
Before we can proceed with our research, if you're interested, why not have a look around?
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side, I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment. No. You shan't be required to. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine...
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to...
Not only is this recipe a staple for me...
That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does he get these ideas from anyway? Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
Should I choose? Bet you can't keep up with me.
That was fast. Looking... An average outcome experimentally, As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Unless... Could it be that the natural laws of...
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good. And here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering and...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. If you had, say, superpower, like night vision or vibratory sense, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh yeah! You could use elemental sight! This must be electrohypostasis powder! The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy.
Goodness. You managed to find... I'm wondering... This elemental sight...
Yep. Guess it does sorta count.
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual, looking out from where we're standing. Can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jump from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, so what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it... Then I shouldn't get too excited. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical...
Still in one piece! Good thing the vial's so strong. You want us to jump?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is. Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is... Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute! While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing... emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Bet you can't keep up with me!
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite... Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average...
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly... If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights. It would be something...
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be about to make some analogies between you and a few gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are... I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of us.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly churros? Because you got to see something new?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part...
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic...
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me. Now, before we head back to the campsite, follow me. There are some other ruins nearby. I imagine you must have encountered more than a few... I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities. I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe. A tried and tested adventurer, I see. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Come a little closer. You've been a naughty boy.
I won't let you down.
You've been a naughty boy. Come a little closer. Blitz.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Except... oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look. What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest, let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolved seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the result of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps, you were colluding.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Now then, all things considered, which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn. Mondstadt doesn't have many people like that. Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? I wouldn't worry. She's time for the results. We got a myriad of data today. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is... you're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself? It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable...
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever.
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long a short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again? Well, glad I can count on you. I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. Those born of earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy it, can I rely on you to stop me?
let's go see Timaeus. Paimon has a favor to ask him. It'd be great if we could catch Sucrose and Albedo too, but they seem really busy lately, so let's not get our hopes up. Anyway, let's go